The shows I've seen in China, I haven't seen them in Disney productions, I haven't seen them anywhere. They're a work of art, a work of engineering, a work of technology all together. If you haven't seen one in our videos, then what you're about to see is going to blow your mind. Just look at what I just found. Technology has no limits anymore. Well, I told you that everything in this park was historic and old, but what about this? Good morning and welcome to a new place in China that I'm sure you didn't know about. Today we are in the city of Kaifeng in Henan province. A historical and cultural paradise that I believe will be in every tourist guide for foreigners in the future. And just look please at what I have behind me, what a beautiful place. This is the entrance to one of the sites we're going to visit today. And I promise you, each one is just better than the last. Kaifeng was the capital of China for 167 years. And even back then, it was already a beautiful city with a truly bright future. The mix between its historical legacy and the impressive technology of this country, I'm sure it's going to leave us speechless. Welcome to the city of Kaifeng. Come with me to explore it. Our journey today begins in Zhongguohan in Bethlehem, or the Forest of Steles at the Hall of Chinese Writers, and it's one of the most important stele museums in China. Everything is outdoors, and of course it's accompanied by beautiful architecture and gardens that include chrysanthemums among their species, which is a super important flower for China, because unlike many other species, it's a flower that blooms and looks most beautiful in cold weather, so it represents the resilience and strength of the Chinese people. As soon as we enter, we find this Chinese ceremonial staircase. It's identified as such by this carved relief tile that's in the middle of the stairs. This type of relief you're seeing is called Balon Shi, or Imperial Dragon Relief, and it has several traditional meanings. In China, dragons have always been a symbol of supreme authority, and of course of qi, which is the vital energy that all Chinese medicine theory is based on. And in this case, since the carving shows ascending dragons, it means that this leads to a very important place or figure like this gentleman here. And this character right behind me is none other than the Yellow Emperor, known as the founder of Chinese civilization. This person is considered the father of primitive writing, traditional medicine, the compass, the calendar, and a lot of agricultural techniques. Which, after all, is what has fed this huge country and brought it to where it is today. And why is this character here, in this Forest of Steles in Kaifeng? For that, it's very important to know what this place, the Forest of Steles, is. I haven't even told you what a stele is. A stele is a stone slab carved with important inscriptions that can serve as a historical document, an artistic object, and a cultural monument, all at the same time. Steles usually have inscriptions of proclamations, official records, biographies or chronicles, stories from back then. They can also contain poetry. And of course, in this context, calligraphy is super important, and it's one of the elements that attracts people the most to come to these kinds of places. But well, so far we've only walked a little bit, and it turns out this place is huge. Nowadays, old places are being used a lot to promote culture or history, but in a much more modern way. So all these tourist places have adapted and been modernized with technology and shows, because the Chinese know very well that generations change. And that the older generation who maybe used to come here to read poems, to see the calligraphy, they don't necessarily have the same interests as today's generation or the generation of the future. The surroundings of this place are beautiful. Look, everything is decorated with chrysanthemums and gorgeous flowers. It's super colorful, even very pleasant if you just want to come and take a walk in this place. But that's not the only thing it has to offer. So let's go further so I can show you what I'm talking about. Kaifeng honestly is a pretty affordable city to travel to. Tickets to these parks usually cost 80 or 100 yen. They're amazing, totally worth it, and throughout the day you'll see why, because we're going to visit more of these places. We'll end the day with a nighttime boat tour and an incredible show, right where the government offices were located during the time Kaifeng was the capital of China. Here you can see what I was telling you about the importance of calligraphy. This calligraphy, if you look, is very different from this one over here. This is what the Chinese would consider cursive. Can you believe that this one here and this one over here are the same language? And what about this one here? What is written on this tablet, even though it may not look like it, is also Chinese. It's a version that predates the characters that exist today. Because Chinese, just like many other languages, has evolved over the years through the dynasties. In this case, Chinese is written in an archaic style of traditional calligraphy, and it's called seal script. It's very distinctive because, as you can see, it's more pictographic and has many curved lines, which nowadays are not so common in Mandarin Chinese. Most of the characters look more geometric. Look at the streets of this city. If you notice, there is a lane for electric vehicles or low-speed vehicles, just like we used to have before. And the thing is, Shenzhen may have the best technology in the world, but the chaos in the streets is very obvious. Out on the street, you can already notice that today it's pretty chilly. In this city, there's not a single person who isn't bundled up. I'm even seeing people with earmuffs. And well, if you're riding an open motorcycle like these people here, when the wind hits your face, it's really tough. That's also why you see a lot of vehicles like this one here that are covered on both sides. That way, you don't get so cold when you're on the little motorcycle, especially if you have kids or something like that. It's the ideal means of transportation for short distances. We're going to cross the street because it's already noon in China, lunchtime, time to eat, and right behind us there's a market. Let's see if we find something interesting and delicious to try today. The little market where we're going to eat today is called Bianliangxiao Songchun. And from the outside it doesn't look like it because it seems pretty modern, but inside it's all traditional Chinese architecture from the Song dynasty. You'll see what I mean soon. It's like dining in a small Chinese village from that time. We're lucky too because this indoor market is located right in front of our hotel, so it was really convenient for us. What a great entrance for this place, it's amazing. In this area over here they have souvenirs, clothes. I'm seeing that they pretty much have everything. Let's explore the little market a bit. They have all kinds of clothing here. On this side they have some local crafts, and they have these traditional Chinese dresses for girls that cost only 99 yuan. The price is quite affordable. Oh look, this one is a bit more expensive, it costs 199. But I loved it because it has a butterfly here on the front. And they also have some for boys, so your children can become a little emperor. Do you rent these or sell them?
I sell them.
They're for sale. Great. They also have some figurines. Do you make these by hand?
Yes, it's typical porcelain from Kaifeng. You can only find it here. It's part of the heritage from the northern Song dynasty.
This one is different. It reminds me of the Chinese alebrije from Kaifeng. The lady is telling me that all of these are the animals from the Chinese zodiac. If you are tigers, you can come buy your tiger. If you are goats, you can buy your goat. And if you don't know what your Chinese zodiac sign is, I'm sure the lady can kindly tell you. The lady is showing me that this is something very typical to take with you. It's a set, like a teacup set, where one has a dragon and the other has a phoenix. In China, they say that when you have a son, you want him to be a dragon, and when you have a daughter, you want her to be like a phoenix. Because of course these animals are associated with luck, prosperity and success. There's a tip for those who are expecting children or want to have children, so you can get your dragon mug and your phoenix mug. But anyway, let's go eat now, because if not, it's going to get late and we have activities planned. We'd better make the most of our time because it also gets dark earlier here. Let's go to the restaurant area that's on this side. Oh, they have a show right now. I didn't remember this place being so cool. Hello, sir. What are the typical noodles from Kaifeng? Can you recommend me some?
Do you eat meat?
Yes, I eat meat but not organs. Give me an order.
Do you eat spicy food?
Of course. Let's sit here while they prepare our food. I think it'll be pretty quick because what I ordered is noodles. And I asked the owner of the shop what he recommended, and he recommended this to me, so I don't really know what I ordered. Now, if you come to China and have no idea what to eat, I'm going to recommend some dishes that I think you can basically find all over the country, in restaurants, little eateries. They're quite affordable and they're super delicious. For those who like spicy food, I recommend Nongjia Xiao Chaoru, which is pieces of meat stewed usually with peppers and a bit of spice. It's delicious, friends, you won't regret ordering that. Another one I often recommend is mala tofu or mapo tofu, which is tofu in a spicy sauce. This dish comes from Sichuan province, so it usually includes huajiao, which is the numbing pepper. Another thing that applies everywhere is niu rumian, which is noodles with beef. You can find it all over this country. It's really delicious, and especially for this kind of weather and this time of year when it's a bit chilly, it's just perfect. I'm also seeing that they have something like a karaoke night. This girl here is singing and inviting the people around to sing. The only bad thing is that this place is empty, and the ones who are coming to sing are the cooks and the owners of the places.
Thank you, thank you. Here is our food. It smells really good. Well, I didn't really understand if this is actually Kaifeng's specialty or not.
Because what I'm seeing here is niu rumian, which I recommended to you, although, to be fair, niu rumian is a dish from the north of the country. Actually, in the south of the country, people didn't originally eat noodles. Noodles are food from the north, and in the south, people eat more rice. But also, you'll notice that these noodles are different from the ones you know, because they're flat noodles and they're even more typical of this area of the country. It's spicy, but it's really good. The technique that works best for me to grab noodles here in China is you pick up one or two like this and then you twirl them, and that way it's much easier to eat.
And now I'm going to tell you a little bit about the plan for this afternoon and where we're going to go.
We're going to visit two very famous places in this city, and the first one is Qingming Shanghai-Yuan. Qingming Shanghai-Yuan is an urban, historical, and cultural park that recreates to scale what life was like in Kaifeng when it was the capital during the Northern Song dynasty. And for this, they based it on a very famous painting from that time, which is precisely about what life was like in that era. It features original markets, fountains, boats on the Vian River, which we will sail on later, food stalls, artisans, aristocrats, ordinary citizens. You can see everything there. And when you look at this painting in detail, you can imagine the noise of the streets and the activities that each of the characters in it were doing. Fortunately, today there is a park that helps us experience that life in a much more tangible way.
But not only that, we're also going to witness the technologies they've incorporated to achieve this. So let's go over there.
And now we've arrived at one of my favorite places in the city of Kaifeng. We were already here last year, but I had never seen it during the day because we always arrived quite late. And this is the perfect time to see this place because it's just when the lamps are being lit and this place is truly beautiful. We are now at the Millennium Cultural Park, which is a park that represents the culture and history of the city of Kaifeng. In this park, we will find several attractions, various little stands where you can buy things, and lots of spots where you can take photos. There are so many activities you can do here, and I'm sure that if you come here, you will love it. Let's walk around a bit, although we have to hurry because there's a show coming up that I want to get to so I can show it to you because it's truly spectacular. And I've said it in many videos, and Max has said it too. The shows I've seen in China, I haven't seen in Disney productions, I haven't seen them anywhere else. They're a work of art, a work of engineering, a work of technology all together. If you haven't seen one in our videos, then what you're about to see is going to blow your mind. But first, let's take a closer look at what this place has to offer. Just look at what I just found. Technology has no limits anymore. Well, I told you that everything in this park was historic and old, but what about this? Here we have one of the typical snacks from Kaifeng or from Henan province. I'm not sure if it's specific to Kaifeng, but it's kind of like a pastry. The texture is similar to jelly. As you can see, it has several layers. This part here is made of corn, then there are dates, then there's taro. It's really delicious. I recommend you try it, but let's keep going because our tour is just getting started. And all around the park, there are actors performing various activities. And this park here is one of the most famous landmarks of Kaifeng and of course of this park. And it's a representation of the Hong Bridge. As it says here, it's one of the 10 most famous ancient bridges in China, and it was originally built in 1050, just imagine. However, as I told you, this is not the original version, but without a doubt, it's a beautiful structure that adds a lot of atmosphere to this place. Wow, look, we're going up this bridge that's super high. The curve is pretty steep, and I've only climbed a few steps. And the view you get from this height is just gorgeous all around the park because they make you feel like you're in an ancient Chinese village that comes to life. Ah, how cool! The shows in this park have already reached an impressive level of creativity. Look, they're using a kind of water jet ski to fly across the whole lake. Look how beautiful it is. Everything is starting to light up. The little lights in the trees, the street signs. All along these places, you'll see a lot of activities taking place. There are actors who might do magic, perform art, comedy shows in Chinese, and I love that all the performers come here wearing the traditional clothing of the area.
You picked a card, but you didn't show it to me, right?
This gentleman here is doing magic.
These are the cards you gave me, and I gave you some. Let's see if they're the same.
They were surprised. He pulled out exactly the same cards that she had chosen from her deck. Right next to the gentleman doing magic, we have another show here. This is the perfect way to teach young people about the culture and history of their country. Look at how many people are coming from the schools. Ah, no! Look at that! The strength he must have in his feet and legs, he's spinning the girl who's on the pod just using his feet. It must have something to do with martial arts because Henan province, where we are right now, is one of the best provinces in China to see Kung Fu. Look how modern the Chinese are. In this park, you can rent a drone for half an hour for 19.9 yuan. It's super affordable and it's a really good drone. It's a DJI Neo 2 actually. We just bought this drone ourselves. And now that I see it here, I think, I should have rented it. Here they have all the steps you need to follow to rent the drones. And it's as simple as scanning this QR code and paying the fee. Wow, look how delicious. They have this place full of snacks. Here we have some quail eggs and look how they prepare them. Does this have shrimp? So it's shrimp and quail egg. They put a little bit of shrimp on the quail egg here. It's really interesting because even though I've traveled all over China, I've never seen this dish before. No, it's the perfect moment to have my favorite drink. How much is the cup? How much does it cost? 10,000 yuan?
This is what I'm going to give you.
Wow, look how delicious this is. This is a drink that I love for winter because it's warm and it has pear, dates, and also a type of mushroom called jelly mushroom. You'll see it there, that jelly-like thing. It's a type of mushroom that's eaten a lot here. And actually, it's said to have many benefits for the skin because it has a lot of collagen. Ah, I saw it too. Look, the robot was chasing like this.
And he was smoking!
He was smoking?
He was smoking!
How funny.
And running after me. Ah!
Look, here is the robot. Oh no, it's coming after me. Someone help. How scary this in the future. This is really creepy. I'm out of here, guys. I'm out of here because it really scared me. No more. Just look at how far we've come. I think this machine here takes your picture and through artificial intelligence turns you into a person from ancient China. Look at the kids. It's like, I want that one. I want that picture. Is that your son? Is it him?
Yes!
Whoa. How does it work?
You have to take a picture of yourself.
Ooh, so with the picture and then it puts you in Chinese clothing.
Yes.
Wow, that's awesome. Let's try to take one of these photos. Let's see how it takes a picture of me. First, you take the photo, so let's select that we're a woman. Start. And now it's scanning my face. No way. Wow, my face looks so weird. I feel like this is made for Asians. What is this? Hey, I look really weird. I think in the end we're not going to pay for this experiment because they made my face look super weird. I don't even recognize myself. I look like someone else. What happened here? I don't understand what's going on. My reflection and I are not the same. There's some kind of evil spirit there. I'm sure the problem isn't the machine, the problem is me. Let's try with Simi. Simi has Asian features. Maybe it'll work better on her than on me. Simi came out a little pale.
It didn't seem.
They raised a different Simi. In this one, you kind of look like yourself. In this one too, but it's like you're a Martian Simi.
My sister.
It's Diego's turn. Are you ready, Diego? You have to look at the camera over there. Generate image. Let's see what Diego does to you. The prince, Diego. The warrior, Diego.
He doesn't have a neck.
For some reason, it worked on Diego. It's a shame because when I saw those kids who had taken the picture, I said, "Oh, that's so cool, I want to do it too," and it didn't work. Friends, I failed at that. This park keeps getting more and more and more beautiful. And now we just crossed the street because right in front there's a little lake, a river where we can take a little boat. And what could be better than doing it at night because everything is full of lights all around. Look, we're going to get on this little boat, which is really cool. Oh, and it's warm inside. Let's put on our life jackets because, as they say in China, safety comes first. The river we're on right now is the Bian River or Bian He, which is an artificial river that was built to be used as a canal during the Song dynasty. Even though it's artificial, this river actually comes from the Yellow River, one of the country's most important rivers. And the reason why this river was built was to make transportation and the exchange of goods between the north and south of China easier. And locally, it also helped a lot to improve the irrigation system in agricultural areas. In addition, this river is part of a larger canal system, which is known as the Grand Canal. And well, it's been many years since this canal lost its importance. When the capital of the Song dynasty was moved from here, the city of Kaifeng, to the city of Hangzhou. But it's still considered a very symbolic place, and nowadays it's used for tourism. And what better place to take a boat trip than this one, which has so much historical importance. And if you look into it a bit, you'll realize that you're sailing on a work of engineering and infrastructure that was vital for its time. This is just getting started, and the boat dropped us off at a different place. Right now we're in Kaifeng, which used to be where the government offices of Kaifeng were located. And since at that time Kaifeng was the capital of China during the Northern Song dynasty, so you can imagine that the future of the country was basically discussed here. It was the center of political, judicial, and administrative power in the region at that time. They just gave an introduction over there about the history we're going to see. And now we have to continue this way because the show we're going to see takes place throughout the entire venue. So you walk through it and different characters appear as you stroll along. This show is amazing, not just because of the talent the actors have with their acting and all the dancing they're doing, which is really cool, but also because if you notice, they're projecting things onto all the buildings and even onto the stone in the middle. They turned it into something magical, so it lit up. It's truly impressive. What you're seeing now is the water from the Yellow River. Because the oldest part of this city was flooded multiple times and they had to build on top of the city that had already sunk. Now we've changed locations and we're at this beautiful view of a pond. And in the back, one of the most important buildings in this complex, which is the one that's lit up. When I arrived at this place, I asked a bit about what the show we were going to see was about. And one of the people who was here told me that it's about a historical character, a real person who existed here and worked at this place, whose name was Bao Zheng. But who was this person who is legendary and famous in Chinese history? Bao Zheng is very well known for his integrity, justice, and for being a symbol of impartiality. And that's because he was precisely a judge and magistrate of the city of Kaifeng. And he also became very famous for being a brave person, for challenging the government corruption that existed at that time. And that's why he received the nickname Bao Gong, or Judge Bao. He handled cases of crime and corruption in the government of Kaifeng. And it's because of his impartiality that he is known as an extremely fair person. One of the most famous stories involving this character is the case of the Liu family, which was very complex because one of its members had been unjustly accused of committing a murder. And it was thanks to this character, Bao Zheng, that it was eventually discovered that this person was innocent. And with his intelligence and cleverness, just like El Chapulín Colorado, he unraveled the truth and dismantled the network of corruption behind such an accusation. That's just one of the legendary stories in which Bao Zheng earned the people's trust, but there are many other cases. I think it's a very interesting story, and that's why this person is worthy of such a show and of being an example for Chinese society. And now, that was the definitive end of the presentation. It was spectacular, I don't know what you all thought, but anyway, that's it for today's video. I hope you loved it, that you had fun with me, and I'll see you in the next video.